Hey everyone, welcome to another MLM dumpster fire. Today we're gonna watch a video from a Monat. Her name is Beck. I wrote it down, I know. I've not watched it though, so I don't know what she's gonna talk about. We're just gonna jump right into it. Don't forget to click that like button if you would like to support my channel. And as always, big shout out to my channel members. Thank you guys for being here, and let's just get right into this. Oh, she looks familiar.
So let's hope this works. I get minimal time when my kids are at co-op 1 day a week for a few hours.
Not another one. She's holding coffee, driving, and recording herself. You all know how I feel about reckless driving, and I'm sure most of you guys feel the same way, so I feel like I'm just gonna be annoyed at her fucking doing this shit. Oh, and her caption is the truth about Monat, so let's hear it.
I get to kind of get stuff done, so I figure I'm gonna utilize this car ride to go live because I had a really good chat in my story.
Utilize this car ride to risk my life and everyone else's life in the traffic.
Yesterday, controversial per usual, but I was like, I've been getting so many messages since then that I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna take this to a live. I'm gonna take this to a live and have a raw, honest chat. I think it's necessary. I have some of you guys who have watched me for years and years and years, and you still, despite knowing I would never back something that I didn't fully research and fully believe in, watch the Monat thing and just, you know, have your objections, your setbacks and all that, and that's fine. So I want to address some of it today, some of the unpopular things about Monat.
So she did full research, apparently, as she says, which means she knows that the majority of people in Monat are not making any profit. And she still decided, oh, this is a great business opportunity. I'm gonna join. And she's got a good amount of likes on this video, so I think she's probably high up, but I don't know. She looks familiar, but I don't know if I covered her before. Honestly, I don't remember.
That people don't like to talk about. What sparked the conversation in my stories yesterday was that someone had said to me, someone had said to me, I've been watching you a long time, and I really have been considering trying the products. I've seen you post it now for over a year, but I read really bad things on Reddit. And I'm like, go type my name into Reddit. Just go type my name into Reddit. Go type my name into Google. Type my handle and my name, or my old handle and my name. And you will read all kinds of things about me. You cannot believe everything you read on the internet. First of all, the flow of information is highly controlled and highly manipulated, right? And they want you to, they push forward the information they want you to receive, right? So I hope we're at a stage in this process where...
Well, that sounds a lot like people in MLMs, specifically Monat leaders or MLM leaders like yourself, who don't want people to know the actual truth, that 99% of people don't make any profit. Sounds familiar? No?
We can understand that what you read on Reddit or anything like that is not going to be a general representation of the truth. But I want to actually address questions that you guys might have. And really, I want to address real objections that people have about Monat. Sorry, my worship music is full blast. This is how we start our day. Where maybe rumors come from when it comes to Monat. So what happened was I started talking about why there may be topics about Monat, you know, the rumors of it makes my hair fall out, or what else is there? I was saying I had a customer. I rarely ever have a customer who wants to return.
So there were multiple lawsuits where people have experienced hair loss when they started using Monat product. Oh, but those are all rumors. Okay.
In their products. Almost everyone, and I'm not going to speak for the large. I'm only going to speak for my experience. I have about 500 customers, so I have a pretty good pool that I can base opinions on myself, right? And when you take my entire organization at large, we have thousands. So I can only pull from that. But I had a customer who was like, I want to return my products. I got them and my hair feels, it's really tangly. It's tangling so easy, and it feels not dry. I can't remember what the word was, gnarly or something. And she's like, and so I went to my hairstylist and I told them that I was using Monat, and they were like, run. And so she was like, I want to return these. She's like, oh my gosh, my hairstylist told me the worst things and I want to return them. And I get this from hairstylists who are like, oh, I had customers who it made their hair fall out or whatever. And I'm like, unfortunately, you weren't probably given a market partner who was either educated enough or who had experienced the products long enough that they could give you a real accurate depiction, accurate experience themselves with the products. I have a lot of, not a lot, but a good amount of hairstylists on our team now that every single one of them had the exact same objections, had the exact same feelings about our products. And now they're like, I wouldn't let anything else touch my scalp. And it is so amazing how I've got a good audience here. So I'm going to go deep on certain rabbit holes and how it relates, right? If you do some research on the Rockefellers, and who I'm so targeted on here, so I guess we're just going balls to the wall. But who writes the textbooks to get like when we go to college, or even from elementary school where we're indoctrinated from an early age, why we believe the things that we believe is because essentially the same people wrote our educational material and then it's just passed along and then we regurgitate, right? The same is with hair care. So hairstylists in particular have a really hard time taking, and by the way, don't judge on my hair right now. I got so sweaty yesterday and it's been in a bun since, so it's a little crazy. Your stories yesterday, I was like, loud, preach it. I mean, no one wants to touch these subjects, right? When you join Monat, you just want to share all the rainbows and butterflies because you have so many happy customers and that's what you want to focus.
Don't you just love how... I love the disclaimer, like, oh, I sell the best shampoo. She didn't say that, but they usually say, like, oh, this is the best shampoo, best hair care in the world. Oh, but don't judge by my hair, because my hair looks like shit, but I swear these products are the best. How is it that women who sell hair care products seem to always have the worst hair on these live streams that we watch? Or they wear hats to hide their hair. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense.
Focus on, and that's what I try to focus on. But you know me, I love to call out people who just regurgitate information and don't actually dig themselves, and that's what we're going to do here. So the same as with professional hair care, right? Is that you're given a certain set of, a set of information via what you're taught in, beauty school or whatever you want to call it. And it's not that you don't know what you're talking about, but you definitely believe based on what you've been taught. But here's what's really interesting, and we have educators within Monat who are hairstylists of decades, and now they educate on this because they're like, it's so fascinating that I wasn't taught any of this. But why is Monat different? It is scalp care focused. So I don't care what you're spending on hair care. I don't care. I don't care what you're spending. I don't care if it's Salon Grid. I don't care what celebrity it's backed by and how many celebrities are endorsing it. I don't care. It is probably filled with all kinds of crap that is clogging your hair follicle, first and foremost, and suffocating your hair strand. Just whatever you have in your shower right now, I want you to walk in your shower and I want you to search, does Pureology, does Kevin Murphy, does whatever you're using that you are spending a lot of money on, or maybe not a lot of money on, whatever, does it have silicones and waxes? And then I'm going to share a reel in my stories later by someone I love, Mandy Sue. She was one of the first people I met actually at Monations in Monat. She was sitting next to me. I adore.
Remember when I had long hair? It was like a few weeks ago. But I have been using drugstore products, hair care products for my whole life. L'Oreal mostly, Garnier in the past, but mostly L'Oreal. Just L'Oreal. My hair was so long and so healthy. Even though I was dyeing it, it's so healthy. And even now, I have bleached my hair. I talked about this before. Well, I went to a hair salon and they bleached my hair only to put fucking dark color over it again. But my hair is still healthy. This is just washed. I didn't brush it or anything. And see, it's not tangly. It looks normal. It's normal, healthy, nice hair. And again, hair care products. My hair grows very quickly as well. So I just don't know, convincing people that products that we've been using our whole lives are all of a sudden just bad. I know there are sometimes, you know, we discover that there are some ingredients that are bad and then stuff gets pulled off the market, but of course it happens. But like most of the products are fine that you can get in the drugstore. They're not gonna harm your hair or harm your scalp or anything. This fear mongering is wild, and the fact that she calls the hair loss lawsuits basically rumors. They're not rumors, they were lawsuits. But I guess we have Christina Smallwood we watched recently where she said that lawsuits were like a targeted collaboration from like a few people that wanted to take Monat down. Maybe they had like a big leader meeting where they talked about this and they're like, oh, we have to debunk the lawsuits because people keep referring to the lawsuits or something.
Or her. But she's a hairstylist of, I want to say, almost 20 years. And she now owns a scalp facial salon where she does microscopic technology to show what your scalp looks like down to like the tiny hair follicle. What is sitting in your hair follicle? What does it look like? But she also shows you what happens when you focus on scalp care and you purge out, you purify out what's in those hair follicles and what can then occur after, okay? So I want you to hold this image. You have a hair follicle, right? And in that hair follicle is waxes and silicones and parabens and sulfates and phthalates and whatever, you name it. And it's sitting in that hair follicle. And as you come in with Monat, which is meant to deeply purify, especially if you're using like our scalp scrub and you're using now like our IR clinical system, which is meant for growth, but it's deeply purifying, right? You're going to start to pull out all of those impurities in your follicle. If you went to the dermatologist and you had dermaplaning done, or you had like a deep exfoliation done, all that dead skin is going to come off, right? Are you going to freak out? No, you're going to be like, bye, dead skin, right? Well, why is it any different with hair? So when someone comes in and they deeply purify their scalp, they're getting that out. I had 2 people write me over the last, 8 hours.
So basically she's admitting, in my opinion, what I'm hearing here is that she's admitting that your hair is going to start falling off when you start using Monat products, but she's saying it's like scalp detox thing. It's completely normal. Also, why are we talking about this? I thought you were gonna like talk about the income disclosure statement. Why do people lose money, and not about like hair follicles and shit.
I was addressing this morning who are on medical grade shampoo. And they're like, do you think this would help? I'm like, absolutely, because it's just like anything else. What are you doing with medical grade shampoo? You're still going in and you're topically band-aiding something rather than getting to the root cause and purifying out, right? So this is what this does. It purifies out. Now, hair loss right now is a plague everywhere. There are so many reasons you could be losing hair, and me, the conspiracy realist, if you want me to tell you why I think you're losing hair, pull up a chair. I could talk to you all day about it, okay? And in fact, I'm going to drive right by a big old tower right now that's right ahead of me. There are so many reasons that people are losing hair more than ever right now. So many. But if you're on Monat, you're probably like, it's money, right? There's a million reasons why you could be losing hair. But I'll assure you this. Every single person, and I say this live so anyone could come on and object with me, every single person who has said, oh my gosh, I feel like I have a little bit of shedding right now. I'm like, you're good, girl. You're good. I promise you, you're good. You gotta like push through it. I can't read that out loud, but yes, parasites, what I just said, chemicals poured on us and in our foods. There are so many reasons people are losing hair. I lost a ton of hair, well, from my hysterectomy, but then when I got,
Oh, so it's not Monat, it's vaccine? Wow.
The COVID, I kept losing, patches. I know hair loss. I would lose hair in patches in my shower. Honestly, I would cry. And then I think the stress of it, that's why I typed it, the stress of it would make it worse. And so my point is, if you can get through, and by the way, this scares some people off. I was trying to come up with a percentage, and obviously I'm just pulling this out of thin air. I don't know, but I have a lot of customers, and I would say probably 95% or higher do not come to me and say, hey, I have hair shedding or anything like that, or my hair is more tangled or anything like that. But I would be lying to you if I said it doesn't happen. Okay, let's go back to the hair being tangled. What happens when you strip out all those silicones and waxes that are covering your hair strands, right? My daughter had asked me, like, I think it was 2 years ago when that WOW stuff came out and it was all over TikTok, and she wanted me to buy. I'm like, you're out of your mind. And I wasn't even like deep in Monat then, but I was like, no way, that stuff is garbage. What does it do though? It makes it does make people's hair probably feel good and shiny, because it's taking the hair strand and it's coating it in waxes and silicones. So you're band-aiding it. I can tell you how to make your hair feel and look soft and shiny and incredible without coating it with anything. But you know what it's going to be about? It's going to be about actually nourishing that hair strand, getting to the cortex of the hair strand. Our oil is the only one on the market, and by the way, it's as pure can be. It's made of 13 essential oils. That's all it is. It is the only one on the market that's molecularly structured thin enough to penetrate all the way to the cortex of the hair strand, which is the center layer of the hair strand, and to penetrate through the scalp. So rather than sit on the scalp, like I have so many holistic customers who are like, I use coconut oil, I use I've said this before, like I remember I had one customer who said I use egg yolks, like, right? They want to use like really natural things, but the problem is those are not meant to penetrate your follicle. They're going to sit in it and clog it. And so if you're like, I have dandruff, I have like psoriasis, I have eczema, well, your hair follicle is begging you to breathe. It's begging you to cleanse, purify, and breathe. And that is what Monat is. So is it different than what most hairstylists are taught? Yes, it is. So when you have a hairstylist who's like, I've had people sit in my chair that say they had some shedding. Well, I don't know that they're lying. Maybe they have had people sit in their chair and say, and those people almost always are the people who sit and they're like, what do you mean my hair fall out? A, they didn't have someone to properly educate them, but B, they were probably people who read online and make your hair fall out, and they were already freaked out. My goal in this space is to really educate people and to say, just like everything else I talk about, hey, research yourself, experience yourself, and then come up with your own conclusion. You can keep buying products that are made essentially from L'Oreal, right? L'Oreal, Redken, it's all illusion of choice. It's all the same umbrella. It's all funded by the deep state. So if you want to look at me and be like, she sells MLM shampoo, hey guy, you just ran a stop sign. And you don't want to support me, that's fine. You don't want to support this company. The more that I get to know the owners of this company, the louder I think I get to on properly educating about this company and the products, because I see them. They sat in front of me at church. They didn't know I was behind them, but they close their national convention with a church service. Do you know how hard that is to do in this day and age? Do you know how
cultish that is to do, in my opinion?
How much pushback you get from something like that? But they close their national convention with an optional, you don't have to go, but a church service. And they sat in front of me and I saw them with their arms around each other and their heads kind of leaning at each other at the end of convention, and they'd talked to a kind of a small group of us who had been at something, saying what a hard year it's been. There's been a lot of attacks on money, right? And most people aren't going to want to talk about this stuff, but I do, right? Like I'm going to talk about the things a lot of people don't want to talk about, and I can now see, after more than a year in this company, why they're so heavily attacked. I can see it. It's so obvious. A company that uses cleaner products, that is not part of the system, and is giving so many families financial independence by using this as a business opportunity.
So many families, eh? According to Monat's own income disclosure statement, like 98% of people, Monat distributors, are not making any profit on a yearly basis. So it's helping so many families get financial freedom. Really? How many people in your huge team of like thousands of reps that she said earlier, how many of them are actually profiting from this Monat business? Please. Oh, so ridiculous.
Of course it's attacked by the system. Of course it is. Of course it is. Sign me up. Sign me up. So, the reality is we are a scalp focused, we are the #1 premium hair care brand in the world. According to who?
Where is your source on that?
Hair care brand. I'm going to give you a challenge. Truly. I'm not even being like snarky with you. I'm going to give you a challenge. Find a hair care brand, any, on the planet that has more real before and afters. Money is not paying for billboards. Money is not paying for, advertising. Money is counting on real people like myself who had a hysterectomy and had no hair. Again, this is my hair after working out yesterday and having it in a wet bun of sweat. So it's a hot mess right now. But the density on my head, the fact that I can go like this and have this kind of density on my head is bonkers, because I lost probably 50% of my hair. Losing your hair as a woman, probably as a man too, is it's hard. It's a hard feeling. So there is no way on God's green earth, after going through what I went through, I would put my name on something that could cause hair loss. There's no way on the planet. Find a company that has more real women, real people. By the way, I have tons of men. We have tons of men of like husbands of market partners on our team who put the growth serum on their head, and it's like bonkers. But regardless, find a company on the planet that has more before and afters like ours does. In addition to that, find a company that has more millionaires. I dare you. You can go talk about any other, and by the way, I'll never post it publicly. Because it's not who I am. Well, I'll never say never, but there's a lot of network marketing opportunities out there, and they may look shiny, but you know what I do every time? I research who funds it. And if you are part of another network marketing company, or you are considering being part of another network marketing company, I hope you fully do your research. I hope you dig to the very beginning. Research, what year did it start? Who funded it? Who was the first funding person of it? Where did that money come from? I really, really, really hope that you do. I have gone up, down, left, right, around, through. Now, could I be fooled on anything? Sure, I'm constantly evolving, but I have done more research than I can even count. And I believe in this company. So,
all right, I think we've heard enough, but of course she didn't address the income disclosure statement and why the majority of people don't make a profit. She just made a false statement that it's helping so many families, when in reality it's not. And the Monat's income disclosure statement, as always, is linked in the description box below. You can take a look at it. But I did a quick Google search, and Monat is not, maybe amongst MLM companies it comes up as like high rankings, but when it comes to like globally, including non-MLM companies, Monat is not the most ranked or like the best hair care brand globally, whatever she said. So that's just BS. Like, where is your source on that? But I'm gonna wrap that one up here. Let me know your thoughts below, and don't forget to like if you enjoyed the video, and big shout out to my channel members as always. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.